millionaires, what's up? It's your girl Sophia the Lioness, and welcome to another video. Today's video is going to be about money management. In this video, I'm going to teach you a super simple formula that's going to help you to get a better handle on your spending and be able to track your finances a whole lot better every single month. For more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel right now. And then go ahead and smash that notification bell so that you're the first to be notified when I upload new videos. So let's talk about one of the most important things in life, and that's money. Have you ever found yourself in a place where you have more month at the end of your money than money at the end of the month? Have you ever been in a situation where you get paid and it feels like the only thing getting paid are your bills, but you're never able to accumulate anything? Well, that was my reality for a really long time. And I had to figure out where my money was going. And then I ran across this simple formula called the 50-30-20 rule that totally transformed the way I manage my money, the way I track my expenses. And it gave me a framework or a guideline so I can start to track my spending. So let's talk about it. 50% of your income needs to be allocated for your needs. Now, these are your necessities to be able to survive. These are things like food, housing, transportation if you've got a car, your monthly utilities and bills, and your minimum debt payments. So if you've got credit cards, these are your minimum payments that you've got to make sure that your credit remains in good standing. So when you think about your needs, I don't want you to think about the things you want. We're going to talk about that in the next section. But I want you to think about everything that you need to pay on a monthly basis. You've got to figure out a way, or your goal has to be to get your needs down to 50% of your monthly income. So I want you to think about how much money you make at your job right now. Now, if you're working a minimum wage job, maybe you're making $5, $7, $10 an hour, it might be kind of tough to get your needs, all of your needs under 50%. But I want you to set that as a goal. Now, if you're making $15, $20, $30 an hour, this can become a lot more feasible. Let's talk about housing first of all. This is where you live. You've got to have a roof over your head, right? So this is something that you have to pay. If you're living with your parents, then maybe you're lucky. Maybe you're staying on someone's couch. You're able to save a lot of housing income. But most people, they've got rent or they've got some type of mortgage. You want to make sure that you're not living above your means. Depending on the amount of money that you make every single month, you've got to factor in, where can you afford to live right now? This is a formula that's going to get you on track to your goals. This isn't permanent. This is temporary. But you want to start to develop these habits now so that you can set yourself up for early retirement and ultimately financial freedom. Then you've got to think about food. Guys, this isn't restaurants. This isn't eating out, okay? This is groceries. And I'm going to be dropping a whole lot more videos to show you how you can start to spend less money in all of these areas so that we can get your needs under 50% of your current income. Let's talk about transportation. Do you have a car? Do you have a car note? What are your gas expenses every single month? These are things you've got to consider. See, when you're tracking your finances, one of the things you've got to do is you've got to inspect what you expect. What does that mean? If you don't really know where your money's going, it's going to be gone and you're not going to have a clue where it went. So you've got to start to be intentional about making sure you're tracking every dollar you make and knowing exactly where it's going. Utilities, your bills, this is electricity. This is, maybe your phone bill. This isn't cable, guys. This isn't Netflix. That's not a need. That's a want. What about your minimum debt payments? What about credit cards? Do you have any revolving debt right now? Do you have credit cards? And what is the minimum payment that you've got to make every month on those cards to make sure you stay in good standing? You've got to calculate that in your needs, because if you don't make those payments, it's going to have an adverse effect on your finances. 30% is for your wants. These are things that add up really, really quickly because these are things we don't necessarily need, but we want. So let's talk about it. The first thing is clothing. How often are you shopping? How often are you going on Amazon and buying the latest gadget or things you don't really need? Eating out. This was one that I struggled with for a long time because I don't really like to cook. So sometimes it's a lot easier to just stop somewhere and pick up something to eat. But that adds up really quickly. You want to start to limit your eating out and your visits to restaurants to make sure that you're staying within the 30% allocation for these, what we call discretionary expenses. What about entertainment? How often are you going out? How often are you going to happy hour? Maybe you're going to the movies. Maybe you're going out with friends. Well, this is an entertainment budget and you've got to figure out exactly how much you can afford to be entertained. I always say what entertains you trains you. And so often I look at people and they're spending a whole lot of money on fun, but they're not focused on getting their funds right. Guys, we're going to switch that, okay? If you focus on this 50-30-20 rule, I'm telling you, you're going to be setting yourself up financially, because most people aren't following this rule. Most people don't have a budget. Most people don't know where their money is going, and that's why most people are struggling financially. But because you're subscribed to this channel, right? Because you're watching videos like this, we're going to make sure that you're not a part of that statistic. Here's what I want you to do right now. I want you to let me know in the comments what's one of those wants that you're probably spending a lot of money on, then you can probably start cutting back on right now. Another want is vacations. Trips. Who doesn't like to travel? We all like to travel, but you've got to make sure that it's within your 30% allocation. See guys, 50% is for your needs, 30% is for your wants, and then we're going to move into 20%. Guys, 20% of your income is for saving and investing. The final 20% of your income should be for savings and investing. You've always heard that you should save for a rainy day, right? And if you don't save, a rainy day will come and you won't be prepared. Well, you've got to make sure that you're not spending every dollar you get. Something one of my mentors taught me early on. He said, Sophie, every dollar you make is not yours. What does that mean? When you get an income, you've got to figure out exactly how your money is going to be divided. We talked about your needs. We talked about your wants. But you've got to make sure that you are saving and investing into your future. The first thing that every single person watching this video needs to start saving towards, if you're not doing it already, is your emergency fund. What's an emergency fund? This is usually about 6 months of your monthly expenses. Think about it. If you lose your job, if some life event happens, if you happen to get sick, you need to be able to have a cushion or a nest egg of at least 6 months of your expenses in case you have no more income coming in. By working on your emergency fund, it's going to save you a lot of stress and a lot of headache in the future if you were to lose your income. So you've got to make that a goal, setting up your emergency fund. I'll throw in a bonus. You want to actually start with a mini emergency fund. That's about $500 to $1,000 cash that you have somewhere in case of an emergency. What if all 4 of your tires go flat? What if your transmission goes out tomorrow? What if your windshield breaks tomorrow? What are you going to be able to do to replace it? You want to have some income on hand in the case of a small emergency. Outside of just cash savings, you also want to make sure that you're utilizing the 401k at your job. Typically, if your job has this, a lot of great companies, they actually match your contribution. So you want to max that out because it's basically free money. Let's say you're able to put $100 every pay period into your 401k and your job's going to match you another $100. Why wouldn't you take full advantage of it? Then you want to figure out a debt payoff plan. See, a lot of people have student loans. A lot of people have credit cards. A lot of people have, debt up to their eyeballs. And if you fail to plan, then you're planning to fail. You want to make sure that you have a plan to pay off debt. And that's where this 20% comes in. So 50% of your income is going to take care of your bills. 30% of your income is going to take care of the things you want. One thing I believe in is enjoying life. You're working hard for your money. You should be able to enjoy some of it. You just can't enjoy all of it, at least not yet. Then 20% you've got to save for your future. If you're not putting money aside now, then when the future comes, which will happen because time's going to pass anyway, you got to make sure that you're setting yourself up for success and you're not setting yourself up for failure. What I can tell you all is if you start applying this 50-30-20 rule to your finances, and you can literally start doing this with any amount. Let's just say you're making as little as $1,000 a month at your job. 50%, $500 of your paycheck should go to your needs. $300 is going to go to what you want. $200 should go to savings and investing. See, a lot of times people get paid $1,000 and they spend the whole $1,000 on their needs. And now they have nothing for their wants and they're not saving. You don't want that to be you. You want to start allocating your funds no matter how small, because if you're developing the discipline and the habit of doing it now, as your income increases, it's going to be on autopilot. Financial success doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. It's a process. It's a journey. But it's starting with developing habits like this now that over time, it's going to become automatic. And you're going to look up and you're going to realize that your saving and investment account is looking really nice. You're going to realize that you're living below your means instead of keeping up with the Joneses. And you're going to be doing better than most of your peers and most people in the world, because most people don't even know this rule exists. Hopefully you got value from this video today. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to be bringing you a lot more videos just like this one to help you get your mind and your money right. Let me know what kind of videos you guys would like to see. I'm going to be bringing money, mindset, and motivational videos to the channel. So make sure you smash that notification bell so you are notified when the next video drops.